What's going on, people? It's your boy Tots back again live for another press conference reaction. Before I get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Arsenal versus Real Madrid today. This is the day, people. Make sure you support the channel on this magnificent day. The sun is shining, and hopefully we can look forward to an Arsenal win. But let's get into what the press conference had to say. Mikel Arteta was asking a few questions on if everyone is available following the weekend. Yeah, it looks like it. We had another training session this afternoon, but Ben finished the game. We had to stop him over time because he hasn't played much football, but he was fine after the game. And with the rest, they went through the game and they were able to do some bits yesterday and ready to train today. So yeah, that's obviously good news for the likes of Ben White, who a lot of people want to see in that centre back position. For me, I would probably go with Ben White as well, just for the simple fact that Kivior, even though he can have a good game for 93, 94 minutes, and then that one mistake ends up costing you a goal or the points or the lead or whatever it may be. Whereas I feel like Ben White's a bit more secure, even if he is half fit. So yeah, that is obviously good news. Whether he goes for it or not, I'm not too sure. I feel like he probably is going to go with Kivior, but you never know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see with that one. But obviously, that's good news. And you could tell by Mikel Arteta's obviously selection at the weekend that he was having one eye on this game. The fact that he rested Martinelli and Saka and gave starts to the likes of Jorginho, resting Partey as well. I think he did have one eye on this game and wanted to make sure that we had no more injuries, considering we just lost Gabriel for the rest of the season. On if he's decided how to replace Gabriel, yes, we've decided. So yeah, that is very, very interesting. That to me indicates, and listen, Mikel Arteta has told a lot of fibs in these press conferences before, but that indicates to me that he's probably going to go with Kivior if he's already decided, considering he just said in the last sentence that Ben White has not played a lot of minutes. So you would think he wouldn't be the one to really start the game if you're just still managing his minutes, because obviously he's not played a lot of football. So yeah, it doesn't mean if I had to be a betting man, I would say it's going to be Timber, Saliba, Kivior, and Lewis Skelly as the back four. But you never know, Mikel Arteta might have a trick up his sleeve into the game. And if we need a special effort to get the result, 8 p.m. tomorrow night, 11 players, 60,000 people need to be really super convinced that we are ready to win the game and beat them. That's 100% correct. And Arsenal, man, I mean, I know people are going to be onto the fans saying it's a magnificent occasion. We're playing Real Madrid for the first time ever at the Emirates, which is, I love that, and that's great. But bro, the team have to put in a shift off the ball to start the game. Every 50-50, every half challenge, you've got to be in there committed, ready to die for the cause, man, to really get the crowd up. I feel like the crowd has suffered a lot, to be honest with you, this season, man. I feel like with the amount of money these fans are paying, yeah, the quality of football, not even just in terms of like on the ball, off the ball, off the ball as well, has been really, really poor overall in terms of how we've been playing at the Emirates in particular, man. And what I mean by that is like the movement off the ball, not moving it around, players not really looking for the ball into space, trying to quicken up the play, trying to break down mid to low blocks on a quicker basis. Obviously, it's not an easy thing to do, but I don't see the same conviction I've seen in the last couple of seasons when obviously also have been playing lesser teams. So yeah, for me, it's up to the team. The crowd will be up for it anyway because it's Real Madrid Champions League. This is what we've been waiting for, to be back at the big table facing the best teams in Europe, to become one of the best teams in Europe for the first time in the club's history. But bro, the team has to be on it, man. No mistakes, just balls to the wall, and yeah, everything, giving it everything on the pitch, man. So you know, even if we get beat by a better team, you can't say that we've not given it our all in it. So yeah. That is for the team to do, in my opinion, man. And if Saka is fit enough to start, he's in a much better place. Gradually, we have to build in his minutes in the last 6 to 7 days. Sorry, he's coped with that really well, and he's in a good place to be able to be used. Pardon me. Now, again, it does look like he's probably not going to start the game, but again, Mikel Arteta, he's not going to give too much away in his press conference, man. That was very, very vague. He's not saying he's going to start. He's not saying that he won't start. He's kind of in the middle. So for me, I think he's going to start him personally. I think this is the game that potentially they've rushed him back for this Real Madrid game, the chance to potentially go through to the semi-finals. And bro, if somehow Arsenal do manage to beat Real Madrid, you could argue would become one, if not the first or the second favorites in the competition. We would have beat the holders over 2 legs in obviously European competition. And yeah, it would be a mad. Imagine if we also did end up beating them and then ended up going out in the next round, would be crazy. So yeah, man. But obviously, it's going to be a very, very difficult task, man, to beat Real Madrid over 2 legs. I can't really see it. Not with the injuries we've got. to obviously Gabriel. We needed our fit. We needed our best team, and even our best team, I don't think would be. I would be convinced that we would win because again, we've still got deficiencies up top. Sorry, with Havertz and Jesus fit. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And if this is the kind of game why I came into football, this is why I came into management. That's why I came into football, especially at this football club. It's been 20 years since we had this type of game, and for us, it's a great opportunity to build our story, and this is why we want to. No, and that's where we're here for, bro. When you think about it like that, it has been a long time since we were in a quarterfinals against a team like Real Madrid. I'm trying to think the last time, maybe when we played Barcelona 2010. So you're looking at 15 years there anyway, where that was a quarterfinals against obviously at the time was the current European champions. And you look at that game, we didn't win the home game. We were 2-0 down. We ended up drawing it back to 2-2, and that was with away goals. But we didn't win the home game and ended up going out 4-1 in the second leg. So yeah, there is a lot to think about between that game and this game. But yeah, 15, 20 years has been around about that time. So yeah, it's a big game. Probably the biggest game in the Emirates era for me, I would say, considering obviously how our season's been in the league as well. This is literally our season, man. If we don't get a positive result tonight, then the season's done, innit? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And obviously, his biggest night in management, 100%. Yeah, of course it is, man. It's Real Madrid Champions League. We've got back to this point. Remember, we've not been in the Champions League that long, obviously in recent times. This is only the second season. So yeah, I'm glad we're facing the bigger teams, to be fair. I didn't want to face another Bayern Munich or a Dortmund or I want to face Real Madrid, even like Barcelona, PSG, different teams, man, in the knockout stages to really test our mettle, to see how good we are in the latter stages. But yeah, we have got Saka back. Obviously, he's not fully fit. Martinelli's coming to a little bit of form, I'd say, and then it's just who he goes obviously up top. I'm not too sure what he's going to do, whether it's going to be Trossard or Marino. And if we do a bit of luck, I think we deserve it, but we have to earn it. We have to earn the right to have it again tomorrow evening. We're going to put all the ingredients, everything that is in our hands to play the game that we want to play and take advantage of the game in that direction that we want. In order to achieve that, we're going to need our people playing every single ball with us. That's going to make a huge difference because something that is something that is really needed. At this stage, you need your home stadium to create a very, very special atmosphere to generate momentum. So let's go. I encourage everybody to go there tomorrow to play the game with us, not to be there to watching it, but actually playing with us. So obviously, he's encouraging the fans to have a obviously magnificent atmosphere. Listen, I feel like it's a give and take thing. You got to put in the effort. We can't be sitting back having a low block, and this is why obviously I've seen a lot of people saying that, oh, we need to be sitting deep and stuff like that. I disagree. I feel like it has to be a mixture of both. Yes, you got to respect the opposition. You've got to have obviously tactics put in place to stop the likes of Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vinicius as much as you can, of course. But at the same time, I do feel like you have to insert yourself on the game. You have to enforce your own dominance on the game, especially at home, especially when you've got players like Saka, like Odegaard, like Martinelli, like Rice, like Partey, players that can do something. Obviously, the majority have not been great this season, but on their given time and given day, they can produce a bit of magic that can obviously change the game, trajectory of the game. So yeah, I do feel like you have to be smart, but at the same time, you have to encourage the fans to want to cheer. If we're not attacking for the majority of the game, then yeah, it's going to be very hard for the fans to get behind the team. So yeah, I think it's a bit of give and take with that on how to play the game and not the occasion. I think they are convinced. If I have to convince them, I think we have a problem. It's the level of conviction, regardless of what happens and the context that we have to play throughout this time. But they know exactly what they have to do. Yeah, 100%, man. These are the games that you want to be playing. Like these are the games that you were probably dreaming as a kid, like in the Champions League against Real Madrid. We're playing them in the Champions League quarterfinals, a chance to get to the semi-finals, one step closer to try and win that trophy. If you don't, if you don't obviously get up for this game, you're not going to get up for any game. So yeah, this is a massive opportunity for Arsenal in terms of the players and the fans to really create something special. That again, we've not really had a lot of in this Emirates era, in it. You know, you look at probably the Barcelona game where we beat them 2-1 and we ended up going out anyway. So it didn't really mean too much as one of the only real games I can remember in Europe that we had a massive atmosphere and had a massive win. Even you look at the away wins we've had, it's been few and far between. Only the last probably year, this season, I would say, is probably two of our biggest away wins. 7-1 in the knockout rounds. First time in history, I think that's ever happened in the Champions League away at PSV, and then we beat Sporting 5-1. So yeah, and that is a massive encouragement. And what I will say in the Champions League, we've had our best performances in this obviously competition, whether it's at home to PSG, away at Sporting and PSV. So that is a bit of sign of encouragement. I think it might suit us the way we play. And listen, we just have to go out there and just try our best and see what we can do. But yeah, I'll be much more comfortable if I've seen Timber went White, Saliba, and Lewis Skelly rather than, or even like Tierney. I'd be tempted to play him in there because I feel like Lewis Skelly, even though obviously he's very good on the ball and he's been a very good player for us this season, he's going to make mistakes at left back and he does get caught in behind a few times. He's still learning the position, man. He literally started to play that position this pre-season, I think. So, or the start of, or the end of last season in like on the 21s and stuff, and then moved on to pre-season. So he's been playing that position for less than a year, and he's not a natural left back. He's a midfielder. So yeah, and he's 18. So yeah, they're all the reasons why he's gonna make mistakes. Like that is pass and parcel of the game. That doesn't make him a bad player. That obviously just means that he's still learning his trade, and unfortunately, he's gonna make mistakes at the highest level because we're in top competitions like the Champions League, trying to fight for the league, stuff like that. So yeah, that's very, very understandable in my opinion. On the importance of going to Madrid with a league lead on aggregate, it's very important that, but it will just be the first leg, as you mentioned. The intention of the team is very clear. We want to achieve tomorrow, and we're going to go for it. So yeah. We have to get a lead, bro. I've seen I'll take a draw, or even if we're down by what, we have to be winning the game. We have to be going into Madrid with something to defend. There's no way we can't, because at the end of the day, if we go to Madrid going bar for bar, bro, we're gonna get blown out of the water in it. If we have to go there needing to score multiple goals, we're gonna be blown out of the water. Do you know what I'm saying? We have to have them on the back foot. I'm trying to think of the last time they got obviously didn't win the Champions League. I'm trying to think when it was the last time they lost a two-legged knockout game, and who it was to. I can't remember. I think it was to Manchester City when they won the treble. Obviously, they drew the first game. Well, what did they? Was it 3-3? I can't even remember. It might have been 3-3 or 1-1. Or no, that was last season they drew 3-3. It might have been 1-1 they drew at the Bernabeu, and then obviously had them at home and beat them 4-0, which is crazy thinking about it now. That just shows how good that City team. But that's the last time they lost in a two-legged like affair. So yeah, obviously we're not going to win 4-0, but yeah, that just goes to show that obviously you have to win the home game if you're going to get through. Because at Madrid, it's very difficult to get even a draw there. You've seen Atletico Madrid have lost there already. Man City lost there already. So yeah, but Atletico did beat them obviously at their ground, only 1-0, but they did beat them. So it is possible, man. It is possible. On how important Odegaard has been since joining Real Madrid, I think it's very important for the football club because we have recruited a player who fits every quality to deliver performances, the demands that we want, and the person who is an exceptional representation of the values of this football club. Our history, and it has been pivotal from where we were to where we are, and the role he's played and how much he's contributed to getting us there and where we are at the moment. Listen, Odegaard before this season, I think has been a very good player for us, man. Obviously, standout season, 15 goals, obviously in the season. Even last season, I thought, even though he didn't get 15, he was still a very good player and had a very good season, in my opinion. I think he got double digits in no competitions. I can't remember, but yeah. But yeah, still a very good player. This season, he's fallen off a cliff. He's been really, really bad. I mean, from his standards, the fact he's come out and said he's not been at the level shows you how bad he's been. He's been really bad. And again, he has to step up. And this is another game. If you're not motivated, to play against a team that signed you at 15, then released you, sold you off for 30 mil, which is not a lot in this current market. If you're not motivated to really show them that obviously they missed out on a quality player, then you're never going to be motivated for a game, are you? Like I'm saying, this is the game. This is why you always see former players score against their former teams, because they're just motivated by that notion of, okay, you let me go because you didn't think I was good enough. I'm going to play for the team that you let me go to and score against you just to show you on the pitch. That's why you always see Welbeck scoring against his former clubs. You see it all the time, man. So yeah, that's what it goes. So yeah, Odegaard is a big game for me, man. I want on if this is one of the biggest matches of his coaching career. It's the biggest one. It's the biggest one. It's one of the most special. It's a competition that we've been waiting for many, many years. The fact that we're only been in it twice at this stage in 15 years with the size of Arsenal and the difficulty of that, we're going to create our own story and go further. Tomorrow is a beautiful opportunity for us. And yeah, that is one of the records. And to be fair to Mikel Arteta, what I will give him credit for is the fact that he's actually slowly but surely improving our record in Europe, because Arsene Wenger really, at the end of his tenure, man, really made a mockery of how we were perceived in Europe, man. Especially those last years where we were getting battered year in, year out by Bayern or Barcelona in the last 16 very comfortably. Yes, we were a bit unlucky who we were getting, but at the same time, it wasn't the manner we were going out. We'll get battered. Like, we were losing both games. We were getting annihilated. 10-2 on aggregate is crazy. So for me, yeah, I will give Mikel Arteta, he's bringing a bit of credibility back. But again, it doesn't really mean much if you don't go on and get to the final and win it. Do you know what I'm saying? So small steps, but again, and this is what I'm saying in terms of like my criticism of him. Like, the steps in the bigger competitions, I appreciate they are very difficult. Only one team can win the Champions League, and normally it's Real Madrid. So people like Barcelona don't win it on a regular basis. Bayern Munich don't win it on a regular basis. PSG have never won it. Liverpool here and there are just about in it and win it like once every whatever year, how many years, 10, 20 years. So it's very difficult to win. I understand that. But my key thing with him is do something in the other competitions, the smaller ones, win those, and then you can build the momentum to win these. I'm realistic. You can't expect Arsenal to be winning the Champions League every year, get to the final every year. It don't work like that. Depends who you get, depends what obviously type of form that you're in, depends obviously what type of form the team that you get are in, etc. etc. So I understand that I'm a reasonable person in it. Like it's very difficult to do no matter how much money you spend. Chelsea spent 1.5 billion just to try and get back into the Champions League. Man United spent loads of money in the year. Just because you spend loads of money isn't guaranteed you're going to be amazing, even though you probably should be in a certain position, but it doesn't always work like that. It's football, isn't it? But for me, that's my biggest gripe with him, that obviously the smaller competitions he doesn't do well enough in. We get knocked out early, or when we get to the last stages, we don't have the bottle to get over the line and get to the finals. But yeah, on Jurgen Timmer's versatility, incredible. He's been one of the players of the season, by the way, for me. The fact that he's recovered from the ACL, played numerous positions, played a lot of games, played consistently in all of these games, back-to-back games, and the longevity of the games he's playing in. Majority of the time he's playing 90 minutes. So yeah, fantastic, man. Hopefully he doesn't actually catch up with him and he doesn't end up being injured like next season. But fingers crossed, man. Touch wood. He's been really, really good. Great signing. Incredible. Nobody probably realized the player that we signed until he stepped through the door and started to show everyone the quality he had, not only just as a human side, because he's a leader. He had a really tough start, having a really difficult injury, but almost out for a year. Then he's come back doing what he's been doing this season has been quite remarkable. He's a different player, and he's in a different position with different demands, but he's always consistent. Hopefully tomorrow he'll be at his best condition to play. So yeah, I've got to agree, man. He's been sensational. On a special plan to deal with Real Madrid's attack with the individual qualities that they have, especially when you put them in certain situations. You know the danger that they are facing, but that's the stage. It doesn't get much bigger than that. And what they've been doing in this competition is to create moments. And when it comes to the biggest stages, individual performances of players can decide a game, and that's why you're critical for your success. That's something that we have to prevent. Yeah, we have to make sure, man, we try and stop your Mbappe's. Bro, they've got so many good players. But yeah, we have to just try our best to stop them in it. Like, listen, I'm just going in there with an open mind. I'm not expecting us to win either game. I think we're going to lose both, if I'm being perfectly honest. But listen, I'm open-minded, man. I'm not going to be too deflated if as long as the team tries their best and tries to bring out some better quality, then that's all really I can ask for, man. But bro, if I see Mbappe hit one from 30 yards and it goes in, or Vinicius skill past 3 players and it goes bottom corner, like there's nothing really. You know what I'm saying? It's what I've seen them do that against other teams. So yeah. But yeah, we have to go in there positive and try and hope we can try and do something. On the 2006 games, that's an inspiration for sure, because that's because that generation and what they achieve is what we want to achieve. Certainly, I seen the team for that, man. I forgot that it was Torre and Senderos, Flamini was right back, and Abue was left back. It's a great. We've had we've literally got two positions, right back and left back, like playing that position, and then the centre backs are, well, one of them is not our first choice at all. So yeah, and we kept a clean sheet there, which is crazy. And it's very different. 20 years is a long time in football, but it's a very different context. But the history is there. Unfortunately, it's too far to be relevant to the situation that we're in now. But there are things that we can take from there and be inspired by. Yeah, the way we defended, the way we obviously set up our attack, the fact that Arsene Wenger actually changed his tactics for the first time and only time in the Champions League, and it was the early year we got to the final, which is bizarre, and we should have won it really. And if it weren't for the ref who sent off Lenzy Amin, he should just let the goal go. We probably would have came back and won. So yeah, it is what it is, man. Is what it is. And whether this fixture holds special significance for him as a Spaniard, it does mean a lot. It's a club that has set new standards in the world football. That's why we've done it more than anyone else. So that's an inspiration for any manager, any club. This is where we want to be. This is where we want to belong. And these are the opportunities that have to be taken in order to go into that direction. I guess so, man. And if we're in a better place than last year's season's quarterfinals, I think we are building those experiences is something necessary. That's why I said that we have to build our own story. There's a massive gap. There's so many years when nothing has happened in the football in terms of relationships of European competitions. We need to change that. We need to change that quickly. 100%. I mean, the thing is, he says the right things. He just needs to deliver on what he's saying. Like, this is absolute facts that our European history is appalling, like atrocious. Everyone that's been a manager needs to hold their head up who didn't win a European trophy, man. Especially Arsene Wenger has to take a massive amount of criticism. The fact that we didn't win the UEFA Cup in 2000, we should have won that. That would have just been there on his mantelpiece. At least he's won a European trophy. We lost on penalties, and then we didn't win the Barcelona one. And the fact we only got to 2 finals, and he was there for like 25 years is crazy. So yeah, not good enough, man. And if we didn't express ourselves properly in that game against Bayern, especially moments in the second leg, because there were moments in the first leg, especially in the first half, we absolutely had them, and we had to utilize those moments and be ruthless. We had to put the game to bed, and we didn't. And on top of that, we gave him 2 goals, made much life difficult for us on the return leg. Yeah, I felt like the occasion got towards man. Gabriel and Raya made a mistake for the first goal, messing about, and then for the second goal, yeah, obviously Saliba gave away the penalty, but it was Kivior that got run past pretty easily. So yeah, I think again the occasion really played into our hands really, because we were a better team than them last year. We had obviously the majority of our players fit as well, but we just couldn't get over the line. And then away from home, we just didn't have the nous to create chances. But yeah, our away form has improved a bit this season. Obviously, well, a lot. We've actually won how many games? 3 away games, Champions League away games this season. So it's a massive improvement compared to where we were last year. So yeah, it's definitely something to take into consideration, and hopefully we can provide a better outlet on the game. Obviously next week as well, away from home. I think this is only a couple of questions left. On Real Madrid's aura, that's the history, and they have earned it. That's because of the mindset they have, so you can't ignore that. That's a fact. I don't want to talk about it because we all know about it, so let's not talk about what they have built. So let's talk about what we have built and what we have to do and how we can feel inspired by those occasions and look at what we do and the fact they haven't been successful all the time, but because it's impossible. So from 20 times, maybe you win 5. That means you haven't won the rest of the 15. So it's very difficult to do. We're in a position that we have to compete against any team in the last 2 years that we have faced, so we can do it again. Yeah, you got to get over the line, man, and just try and do as much as you can to bridge the gap, of course. On the supporters making an impact right throughout the night, I hope I encourage them to come very early to warm up and create those nights that we haven't lived many of at the Emirates Stadium. So that's an opportunity again. When we have built history, we have to build moments and a moment is being built with our people. We have to create that energy, that belief, that enthusiasm to play every single action there, because the bonus, the confidence that it gives you, there is nothing else that we can replicate that. And I can tell the players consistently to maintain that throughout the 95 minutes, and the game is going to be played. So yeah, like I said before, man, we need to make sure the players need to make sure that they rev up the fans, not the other way around, in my opinion. Because yeah, if that doesn't happen, then yeah, if we're just defending for the entire game, it's going to be very difficult for the fans to get up for anything if there's nothing to get up for. Do you know what I mean? So it's a give and take for me. But yeah, that's the press conference. Obviously, not really gave too much away in terms of injury news and whatnot. But for me, I do feel like it's going to be a case of trying to see who fits where, and whether he goes for Trossard and Marino is probably the key area. And if Saka starts, I think Saka will start. I think Martinelli will be on the other side. And it's for me, I think you've got to go for Marino personally, based off the person that we're playing, because they are very susceptible to set pieces. I watched the Real Madrid game against Valencia, the one that they lost at the weekend, and they conceded from a corner. So and they do concede from set pieces quite a lot. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. That is definitely an area that we can definitely target, but we'll have to wait and see what happens at the Emirates, man. As long as, again, we play our best and give everything our all, then that's all I can ask for, really. But yeah, big up everyone that's tuned into this. Hopefully we can get over the line. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you want to become a member, it'll be in the video description of the video. But yeah, until next time, I'm your boy Tops. Don't hate the play at the game. And yeah, I'm out, people. Peace.